Oh, yeah. Mr. Wiggly, I acoustic, yo. Hey, step inside, I give thanks and the highest praise. Ground myself to my earth, connect out the space.
Well, hello and welcome to the stream. It is very, very hot in here. Man, it's so hot. I hope you can hear me in the wonderful world of the internet. Let's just see how we're getting on, because I had a bit of a last minute trouble with my headphones. So thumbs up in the chat if you wouldn't mind. Save me ranting on for half an hour. But it is crazy hot because I've got a load of kit in here. And yeah, it's hot anyway. I shouldn't complain. That's what English people do. Anyone from the UK will complain because it gets too hot, which should never be the case. Thank you, Steve Elbows. Warm welcome to everybody who is already in the chat. Thank you very much for joining us. Jen S was first. Sasquatch is in. Wagyu is in. Now, Wagyu is the first of our new moderators. Thank you very, very, very much indeed for accepting this enormously responsible role. So we now have two moderators. We have Inky, who's done brilliantly, and he's by no means going away at all, but we were attacked by a bot last weekend. And so, I mean, Inky just dealt with it, hands down, but we just thought, well, maybe instead of Inky having to be around every single weekend with her eyes on the stream, as she has been for the last 53 episodes, we should have someone else. So Wagyu has jumped in. He does not get any insights into the quiz whatsoever, any more than he happens to kind of obviously look at our every mood in the Wiggly household. We would like one more, if that's possible. We asked a wonderful ASIO head who would love to do it, but he's not always around on Sundays. It's not that you have to be around every single stream, but more often than not, he kind of watches it on catch up, or at least he's cooking for the kids or something along those lines. So if anyone else would like to step up and be a mod on the stream, let me know, let Inky know, or whatever. But thank you to the two of you. So we now have two spanners in the chat, making sure everything's cool, ready to swat any spam bots or any rude people. But we never have rude people, so that's fine. Rob Fat Dust Hex, hello to you. I can't have a pet is missing. Oh no. A pet is, well, that's the other option. That's the other cat's dog, nothing or something else. It's the other one. Good to see you, Sasquatch, Morgan Juniper, Stephen Frey, new name. Oh, hello. No, it's not a new name. Welcome again. Homegrown. Who else has arrived? Whiz down the links. ASIO Head is in tonight. Thank you for at least considering. Rotten Circuits, Prometheus, loads and loads of people. We had a great stream last week for charity. We raised Rotten Circuits. I was just going to say we raised some money for charity, and it's just reminded me that the horn isn't on. Wait a minute, but it will be. It will be this time. I'm going to rapidly code something up. Hold on. Stick with me for 2 seconds. Let's see if I got that right. Because we just got a wonderful donation from the wonderful Rotten Circuits. Thank you so much, Rotten Circuits, for the $13.99 Canadian dollars. Let's get this party started. Much love to all. Pixie the Great Dane says hi to her new pal Hazel. That is Ray Malone, is Rotten Circuits, who is going to be featured shortly in the live Facebook profile drawing competition, which you may have seen last week, but I'll give you some more information. And that is your Wiggly horn. Thank you very much, Ray. We'll see you a bit later on. I think he's having a barbecue at the moment, which is where we should all be, to be honest. But thank you very much for that. We raised 250 quid, £250 last week, which was just sensational. And it brought the total raised for Great Ormond Street Hospital to £5,673. Which is just incredible. I'm not sure if Kent Spong is in the chat yet. Kent Spong, can you tell me what's wrong? But he donated twice. He donated like a huge amount twice. So I'm not sure if that was meant or by accident, because he forgot the first one. And he's very welcome to have some of it back. But just incredible. What can I say? There's a big thank you video that I've done that lists absolutely everybody who's donated. Next week, Nick Batt is coming on. I promise. Next week will be Nick Batt in effect. So I'm going to put the video up sort of to you can mark as a reminder from tomorrow, and it will be the week when we give away Synth Gems. Looking around for it, I'll get them a bit later on. Those two amazing books, Push, Turn, Twist, Bleep, and Synth Gems. We couldn't do a lottery raffle in the end because apparently it's illegal to charge on the internet for this kind of stuff. So what we'll do is we will give a book away to two people. Thank you, Andrew Brooks. Before Ken gets in, yeah, well, he got in twice. I could say thank you, Andrew Brooks. This is amazing. We will give it away to anyone who has donated since the beginning of the show, as in the beginning of the stream ever started, 52, 53, 54 episodes ago. So if you want to get in, you know, even with £1 or whatever, pop yours in today or next week with Nick. Should be a good show. I'm sure loads and loads of people will be watching. Or donate directly. I'll give that some info on that underneath the kind of coming soon, and you're in the chance for winning one of these books. And these books are expensive. They're like £65, I think, and they are beautiful books. Very kindly donated to us, which was amazing. So thank you for that, Andrew. If you don't know already, the horn that's going off in the background is the Wiggly Super Chat horn, which looks like this. I've taken the incinerator off of it because the battery is running low. So it used to have an incinerator. It is really, really loud. Sorry to our wonderful guest who will be up shortly. Kent Spong's in the room. My God, sir.
Kent Spong, can you tell me what's wrong?
Just insanely brilliant. Thank you, Kent. That's just so much money, and you are an utter superstar. I'm not sure if you were watching when I explained that you donated twice last week, which is exceptional. But yeah, in case you didn't realise, I was going to say, please don't feel the need to donate, but thank you, sir.
Kent Spong, can you tell me what's wrong?
Whoops, that's
Kent Spong, can you tell me what's wrong?
There you go. What's her name? Can't think of her name now. Oh, it'll come to me. The wonderful actress from an amazing thing on TV, Chrissy Rock. That's it. Chrissy Rock there. We're talking indeed about the wonderful Kent Spong. You are a genius, sir. Thank you very, very much indeed. It's just so awesome, and it's so good that you are back and firing on all cylinders again, which is absolutely brilliant. So thank you. In case anyone missed it, we're looking for another moderator. If anyone fancies to join the throng, give us a shout. You can always get in touch at dom at mrwiggly.co.uk or on Facebook, or just look it up on Twitter or anything like that. And yeah, Nick's on next week. Nick Bat will give away those books. If you want to do any donating at all between now and the end of next week's show, you will be in the lottery, if you like, for winning that. And yeah, the Mr Wiggly horn is a real horn. It fires off. It's connected to the donate button, and it blows my ears off, particularly when we have Mrs Wiggly's microphone on, because Mrs Wiggly's microphone has to be on super loud because she speaks quite quietly. Good. Anyway, so we have a really good guest on this week, who's been a friend of mine, a Facebook friend, I guess you could say, for years, actually, thinking back about it, probably 3 or 4 years by now. And he goes by the name of Mowby One, and a few artists' names, but his real name is Darren Mowbray. He's from the north of England. In fact, I was just talking to Jamie Morden, who said, I think he's up near me, which is Blackpoolish, Fleetwood, something like that. Yeah, he's basically ex-punk, like proper punk, in proper punk bands, selling proper manufacturing, selling proper punk records, come through into electronic music, no computers involved, sort of computers are out the window. So we'll talk a little bit about the live setup, but I think it's MPC based. And I do remember this kind of heartfelt moment, which was probably when I first spoke to him, where he was saying, I don't know if any of my punk friends will take me seriously if I do electronic music, or I wonder what they say. Can I do the two things at the same time? It feels a bit weird. And just chatting about it, and I thought actually that's a really interesting take, because electronic is kind of the new punk in some ways, but I can actually see that, whether it being a sellout or whatever. So it'd be interesting to know whether they did or not, actually, because I was full of advice at the time, but I didn't actually ask how it had happened. So, without further ado, please welcome our wonderful guest, Darren Mowbray, Mowby One.
Oh, Mr Wiggly!
Yeah, finally, we get to speak live.
Hello.
Very warm welcome to the stream, sir. Thank you so much for coming on. It's been so long.
Anytime, thank you. I'm really, really great. It's been here, honestly, thank you.
It's an absolute pleasure. Right, we're on a mobile phone at your end with echo cancellation on, so I'm going to drop out the background music, but I think it's perfectly intelligible. It just means that we can't really interrupt each other that much. So I know a lot of people in the chat know you. I mean, Rotten Circuits in the chat is Ray Malone, that you'll remember from ages ago in chats and stuff. Loads of people, and Rabid Bat's in there. Wow, good to see you, Rabid Bat. I haven't seen you for a while, actually. Yeah, so just I guess like a 15-minute. We're going to do a quiz around 7:30, but like a 15-minute background on the past. What got you into music? What got you into the punk scene way back when?
Brilliant question. Well, I was about 14, maybe 15, and back then there wasn't a massive choice in like sort of music genre. I mean, obviously you had like rock and things like that.
Oh God, I'm really sorry. Don't worry. No, I'm not sorry. It's for charity, but I have to say, we'll see how far we can get through your story. Hang on a second. Omar Frazzle, thank you so much for the 22 euros. Save the kids, the cats and the pets, not the pats and the cats. Thank you so much, Omar. It's really, really kind of you. Very, very much appreciated. You're in the raffle for the book. Mowby, carry on, sir.
Yeah, it was brilliant. Thanks a lot. So I was only young. I was about 14, 15, still at like school. And basically, at school, I had a terrible stammer. A really, really bad kind of stammer. Still here now, really, but, you know, you learn to overcome these things. And I found that punk rock, when I saw it on, like, sort of television and all that kind of thing, I found it really an exciting thing. It was new, it's exciting. And bit by bit, over a few months, I got into it, like, obviously, Sex Pistols and all that kind of thing, all these kind of bands. And the more that I got into it, and I started to dress like a punk, and it sort of gave me a character in it, and I found it kind of character building, really, to be honest. And then from then, I was about 15, 16, I got asked to join a band as Chief Shouter. And that's where it kind of started, really.
Wow. And did you embrace the whole punk rock ethic, so you kind of putting your own tracks out? All the proper stuff, not just singing a couple of gigs?
Oh, yeah. Like, I mean, we were playing all over the place. We were playing London and Leeds and Manchester and Preston. And every now and again, we were playing with, like, kind of supporting quite well-known sort of punk rock bands at the time too. And of course, being only 16 around that age, it was quite overwhelming. So I did that for a couple of years. Then it started having a bit of a then it just sort of I didn't get bored of it. I didn't get bored of the punk rock scene. I mean, I'm not bored of it now, but I started to hear other music. And so my sort of hearing scope widened a little bit. And over the years, sort of phased out of the punk scene, really, on and off, though.
And what was the band name again? Adamski was asking.
Yeah, Antisocial.
Cool.
Which was one of the worst names, really, because it turned out at the time there was about another 3 other bands with the same name. Yeah.
That's real. It's such a Spinal Tap moment, isn't it?
Then
we changed our name to the Antisocial People, and then
yeah, but I had like peroxide hair and
fantastic
yellow hair, and I had a bike chain, and you know, and it was good. I mean, everyone that I knew at the time was into it, and I mean, like, you could go down to the local Salvation Army. And there'd always be a band playing, you know, and there'd always be a band on down the pub and all that kind of thing, you know. So it was a very big scene at the time.
Well, and an amazing kick up the bum for music as well, because the attitude of, like, you know, you don't actually need to play was true, actually. I mean, a lot of the big bands, obviously the guitarists, and there was an element of playing involved, but I know plenty of people who's, filled large places just by kind of sheer emotion, really. The whole thing, and singing or shouting or whatever is even better, because you don't have to worry about that.
I mean, many people that I knew, they joined bands, they couldn't even play, but they learned to play.
Yeah.
They rehearsed and all that kind of thing, and before you knew it, I had friends in bands too, and it was brilliant. It was a good time.
I've got to find some pics at some stage. Basically, Rotten Circuits was saying we need pics. I didn't think to ask you beforehand. We've been attacked by a bot again, so hopefully we're getting squashed, which is brilliant, by our two on the spot crazy moderators, which is really good. So apologies for any weird and wonderful spam in the chat, but I know it gets dealt with really quickly. Kill it, sis. So going back to what we're talking about. So how long did that last for then, that whole period within bands and stuff?
Yeah. Well, it was the first stint, because there was about 2 or 3 stints, literally. The first stint, I'd say maybe 3 years. I got into the band at 15, and by about 17, 18, I got fired, basically. The original lineup, I got sacked. We did an EP, then we did a cassette album, then we were on what do you call when many bands, we did a various artist album.
Oh yeah, like compilation type stuff.
But the band, it was a weird thing, because at the time you were getting many, just like dance music now, you're getting many subgenres of punk. So there was a new sound of punk rock appearing called oi music.
Yeah.
Literally, as it sounds, oi music, and it was kind of like it was where skinheads and punks joined up.
Sorry, hold on, hold that thought. Right, Rob Fat Dust, thank you so much. We got to talk about Master of Puppets. Kids like me were being bullied over being in the metal club, and now, as we know, we saved the world. Yeah, absolutely. It's weird how this stuff comes around. That's absolutely spot on. Totally spot. Everything's circular, and I would argue that a lot of the way things are moving now is moving back in towards that whole punk ethos. I know plenty of people who are just going out and Crass have started touring recently, and kids of, in their early 20s, 19s and 20s are like, they've been one of my favourite bands, whether it's they're discovering maybe their folks record collection, or maybe I'm not sure where it's coming from, but they were a big deal, so it's not just people like you and me from that era going out and seeing them again. Synth Addict, thank you so much for $5. Still a fan of punk after all these years, lots of energy and attitude. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think my school-wise, it was Crass, Flux of Pink Indians, it was Dead Kennedys, actually, from the US. Those were the kind of things. And I think Flux of Pink Indians produced Bjork in the end. It was a really weird situation where one of them ended up setting up One Little Indian Records, I think. It's all, it's all connected. I know, turned into huge, a huge label and huge stars and stuff. So I don't know, what were you listening to back then that you did?
UK subs.
Oh, yeah.
In fact, amazingly, Charlie Harper, who's the chief gobber in UK subs. I mean, he's like approaching 80 now, and he's still doing it.
Still gigging, man. That's brilliant.
I was into UK subs, Crass,
right?
GBH.
Oh yes.
Discharge, Sex Pistols. X-ray specs,
Oh yes, polystyrene and all that. It was a real. I know. We can reminisce because we were kind of that era. I mean, I was a bit too young to be in it, but I was a product, purchasing it, if you like, or listening to it, and it was a game changer, because you were coming out of 70s and 80s disco and crooners, and you would have these amazing UK charts when the charts was a proper big thing that you would listen to once a week, because there was no streaming chart and there was no sort of live updates, where you'd have the Sex Pistols at number 1 and Crass at 37 and no one was playing their record, and then at number 2 you'd have Perry Como or some crooning guy that your mum bought. It's crazy, absolutely crazy.
I mean, was you doing what I used to do? I used to obviously I'd have a tape cassette and I'd sort of record the sound from the top of the pops, but in between the speaking, obviously I'd be pausing it.
You dip it out, yeah.
So then I'd have all the songs of that week on a tape. Totally. And then I got one stage better, which was the beginning of my recording career, when I had 2 tape decks. And I really one I borrowed off of someone, and then backwards and forwards, so you could literally do mixtapes then. That's right. Yeah. Without just pausing, and that was the first bit of like, I can record stuff, I can make it work. This is crazy. David Surchek, the horn hasn't fired off yet, but I'm sure it will. $4.99, David Surchek. Thank you so much for that. I think we've got something called Super Thanks has just got switched on. I'm not actually sure what it is. But yeah, if anyone wants to chuck $1 in that one and see what happens, I think you might get something on the screen or something. We've never had it till now. They sent me an email saying Super Thanks is now available. But yes, absolutely. It was just that time when everything was possible, I think. Yeah. And there was obviously a sort of dark side as well, I suppose, because there was a lot of kind of casualties of that era that you didn't make it. It was quite Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely. I mean, it gave me. I mean, to be honest, it gave me sort of like I created this persona for myself, because being so young at the time, and I wasn't sure of myself and my speech and everything, and it created this character for me. So it helped me really kind of grow up, It's there were many. I mean, when I say I lost friends, I'm not saying I lost friends down the road, I mean, as you say, there were casualties, and unfortunately, some people never came back. I mean, I had a good close friend who unfortunately went absolutely mental, But these sort of things happen.
Yeah. Yeah. You see it. I mean, to be honest, it does happen in music, but at that level, it was kind of part of the lifestyle as well, and it's a lot to keep up with. So yeah, you do get those things. But then you see somebody like Jimmy Percy or something out gigging at 80. I mean, that's astonishing.
Yeah.
I mean, just outstanding. Sasquatch says, Super Thanks for after the live stream when people are watching catch up. Oh, cool. Okay, well, that's don't try the Super Thanks then. And Ken Lewis says they are available, but they take YouTube takes some of them out. Yeah, anything that comes through on Super Anythings. Hey, darling, come and sit down. We make up the difference, as in the Wigglies make up the difference. So if you do donate via that, we chuck in whatever comes from YouTube. Loullamae has entered the building, which means it must be quiz time. Let me see. I need to add your camera. Oh dear, you'll have to be on my camera, I think. Oh. Hang on. Hold your horses. Let's see if I can get this camera.
Make an adjustment for my boy.
Yeah, if he's free, that would be ace. Yeah. I forgot to move this camera.
Right.
I tell you what, while I do this, let me just a second.
You sure? Don't listen.
Oh dear. Hold on. We're usually a bit more professional than this.
Just look as though you've got a bit.
Right, what I'll do is I'll run the thank you video for all of the donations, which are absolutely brilliant, while I just swap this camera around. Hold on. Hi, Zana, good to see you. Let's just run this. Just stand by a second. Did I not save it? Whoops, there we go.
vibrates. Ground myself to my earth, connect out the space. Within the hallways of the heart, the mind in the state of being that I am as I vibrate. At a rate, oscillate like quartz crystal, mama man. Earth brother, I know run solidly saying, I'ma say our heart is the product of sun, so we'll let it shine away, overlap and envelop each other in love and light. Hey, simultaneously synchronized this energy, symbiotically sacred geometry, contemplate the symmetry and the symmetry as we integrate the knowledge, this wisdom, see what the symbols mean and bodies what the temple be. Where the life force energy resides in the chemistry, bioelectric being the top and indefinitely received and perceived to the physical machinery, conceived by the source, recognize that it blessed to be rolling and I can't free. Conscious living never hurt me. One love, energy and sexy. One line to the champion sound. Baseman move to the energy. Sunlight burning upon me. One love, set your heart free. One line to the champion sound. Winding time to the champion sound. Connect so with the earth pipe, link up the harmonized, left the termite. But beyond obsolete blessings, a birthright. To live a life which a lot more in us all worldwide. Cosmic love.
Wow, that was a desperate race to set up a camera. Right, give us 2 seconds. I'll try and turn it on. Pleasure to welcome your wonderful. It's Xander, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay, good to see you. How old are you, Xander?
11.
Okay, Loullamae's 10. So you are in perfect position for winning this, I think. There are no real right answers, to be honest, but you're spot on. So let me see if I can bring in Loullamae's camera without going nuts. Look at that, he did it. Right, so I can add you. In the stream. Man, I can't believe I managed to unscrew that whole thing and get you live. And even get you in focus. Look at that. And the wonderful Mrs. Wiggly is in the house. Whoa, whoa. Can you hear everybody, Mrs. Wiggly, on your hands and everything?
I can hear me, so
Yeah, that's all that matters. It's true.
that's good.
Okay, so one thing I should say is that the wonderful people at Great Ormond Street sent us a really nice thing. Let me just just now you're here, I can show it because it's really cool. They heard about what was going on, because I'm not sure they were completely aware of what was going on. So our total that we raised for charity was 5673, and I think it said at the end of that little film what that was in dollars. And then they sent us here we are. Let me just hide that. Huge thank you to Loullamae Hawken for holding a weekly quiz to raise funds at Great Ormond Street Hospital, 5,423, because that was last week, for seriously ill children. So you can't beat that. And the good news is, I think they're going to send us some T-shirts and stickers and stuff in time for next week that we might be able to give away when Nick's on the show. And a massive hello to Adamski and Faith, who are also there. Faith gave up her pocket money, which was just brilliant. We love that, which is great. So thank you, and thank you for all the love in the chat for everything that's going on. So I think we might as well hit it with the chat. Hit it with the quiz, I suppose. If you are following in YouTube, you need to be viewing all chat, or live chat, or current chat, not selected chat or best of chat. You just need to be seeing everything, otherwise someone might get it right before you and you'll miss it. And also, it's not perfect. Different chats arrive at different times, and it's only for fun, and it's only to raise money for Great Ormond Street. And
Sorry, emergent. I forgot my glasses.
Oh no. Okay, hold on. Right, well, don't worry, we're not live. I guess we can't have that for 10 minutes. Is the glasses downstairs? Oh, try your glasses on.
What?
Try yours on, see what happens.
These are mine, I thought they were yours.
Are they? See what they look. They could be quiz glasses.
I can't see.
They look pretty cool, though, to be honest.
I can't see in them.
Okay, all right.
I can see like that.
That's quite cool as well. That is quite cool. Wagoo's band, yeah, that's the thing about Wagoo, although he's now the new moderator as well. Wagoo tends to get absolutely everything right to the point of being scary. Like, you know, like he's kind of based next door and watches. Oh, brilliant. Well done. Thank you for doing that. Mrs. Wiggly is in charge of keeping score, making sure everyone doesn't cheat. No. And in time for next week, I promise I will go back through all of the actual shows, and I will make a proper kind of chart of who's answered the right ones. I bet Waggle will be at the top. But the other thing is, I don't know the answer to the first one. Do you know the answer to the first one?
Yeah.
You do.
I'm
Okay.
wearing a watch.
Okie doke. So we'll need you to just spot it in the chat then if you're looking, unless you want to whisper it to Mummy. I can mute here if you want to whisper it. Shall I mute it?
I'll just show you.
Okay.
Just write it down.
I'll write it down.
Yeah, you write it down. Okay.
There's a pen.
Here. You write it on there. Okay. Ready, Mrs. Wiggly?
Yeah.
Ready? Yeah.
Yep.
Ready, Loullamae? Yeah. Ready, Xander?
Yeah.
Ready, Darren? Ready, chat? The suspense is killing me. Okay. Here we go.
How many steps have I taken since 13:21?
Okay. So how many steps has Loullamae done since 1 this afternoon, which is when we put our step counter on? Okay.
Can you keep track of that one then, Mr. Wiggly?
I will check for that one. What is it?
Try and do it.
How many do you think?
Waggo's got 8931.
Sander?
Xander?
Any ideas? It's more than 1,000, but less than 2,000.
I haven't been wearing it for a long time.
Okay.
Xander reckons 7,642.
Too high. Good call, though. Good call. So we're under 2,000 and above 1,000, somewhere between the two. Now, I need to be looking at the comments. I've just realised. You've been looking, have you? Adamski's very close with 1657. It's a bit lower than that. You can go if you want again, Xander or Darren, if you want.
I'm going to go with 1350.
Little too low. Definitely Adamski's closest. 1645 is the closest yet for Will Joseph. In fact, it's so close. 1640. Well, you're one away, Adamski. Should we give it to Adamski?
Oh, if it's one away, yeah.
Whoever gets it.
Whoever gets it exactly right. God, dear.
Oh my goodness.
Whoever gets it.
1647, Will Joseph. Very well done, Will Joseph.
Yeah, but I think we need to give Adamski one because I think Will.
Well, you are in charge of the quiz.
Got it because of that. So I will give Adamski one.
Okay.
Point.
Okay. All right.
How do we know that question?
We don't. Skip on to the next one because we have to. That's another guess one that's really hard. Okay, so this one.
This one could help me.
No, you can't have that. This is a blinking competition. So you got to go up to the camera and try not to blink. Okay, try and keep your eyes open. So I'll do it.
Oh, Waggo apparently got it as well.
Oh, no doubt Waggo got it. No doubt. It was, the answer was 1647. So you can go back through chat.
1647.
Yeah. But we're going to do the blinking competition. So you come in a bit closer there, Loullamae, but you can't wear the glasses because that's cheating. Come in and I'll...
Come closer, make your turn.
All right. So I'm going to come in. Do you want to come in a bit there, Xander? Because I reckon you're going to be good at this. You're going to have to take them off. All right. Right. Don't have to. You can blink as much as you like now.
Right.
Do you want to ting the bell when it starts?
Yeah.
Okay. Ready, steady, go. Oh, I did it straight I did it straight away. Who's still in? Well done, Xander. Well done, Loullamae. Well done, Darren.
Oh, Lily.
Lily's gone. It's down to Darren and Xander. He's going to do it. Wow, that's outstanding.
Oh, Xander's looking really good there.
Father and son. Yeah!
Ah.
Hey, well done, Xander. That was incredible. Well done. Absolutely brilliant. See, Xander, I told you you'd be good at this. Insanely good. Well done, sir. I can't believe I blinked straight away without thinking about it. Okay, another question from Loullamae. So, eyes down. I guess there's no points for that apart from 10 points to Xander for winning straight to the top of the league. Here we go.
What did I do to celebrate the end of year 5?
What did you do to celebrate the end of year 5? Let's have a think. So they all got together and did something. Any thoughts?
I think people in the chat were doing the blinking competition as well.
Oh!
Because
Yeah.
There's quite a few parties. It is a party, but what type of party?
It was a special party, and Wagyu is strangely close. That's scary. Do you think he's like croquet on the lawn?
It needs to be accurate.
It's a something party.
Oh, Grace Griffin!
Oh, sorry, hang on a second.
Grace Griffin got it.
With the music running, I couldn't hear Darren. Would say that again?
Xander reckons it was a what? Disco party.
Disco? No, it wasn't a disco party. Did someone get it?
Grace Griffin got it.
before that,
You saw someone before Grace?
I think.
Did you? I don't
Grace
think
Griffin
so.
got a pool. Well, we're going to give Grace Griffin a cheer. It was a pool party. Oh, Jen Stetter.
Oh,
Jen Stetter. You're not going to get anything past Loullamae.
All right.
Wow.
They can both have a point.
What about how? Okay, well, you're in charge.
I am.
You're absolutely
I'm
in
in
charge.
charge.
Well, that is actually very true.
Not
yes.
in the point schemes, you're not.
Oh, a big hello to Tony Duncan, by the way, who can't come in the chat. Wanted to say hello to Daz. And he's driving, apparently, in the US. So they're listening to it in their car, which isn't technology brilliant. We can stream from a forest in the UK and he can listen to us in his car. Just brilliant. The Conservative Party said Ken Spong. That's worth 50 quid. Well done. It's a terrible party. And did I just see Tony appear? No, I didn't. Okay. Mrs. Wiggly, you can go off, people you know, says Inky the cat.
Last year at the party, people were jumping out of the
I'll bear that in mind.
Sorry, what?
Last year at the party, people were jumping out of a tree into the trampoline.
Were they? Last year's end of school party, people
Yeah.
were jumping out of a tree. That sounds... Oh, I'm glad I didn't know about that, to be honest.
But I wasn't there.
Ah, right. That sounds really dangerous.
Oh, something from Adamski. What is?
Faith saying, Adamski's saying, Faith has asked for a pool party from the jar at school for their end of term pool party from the marble jar. That is brilliant.
I have a marble jar.
Yeah. Loullamae has exactly the same thing where if they do good stuff, they get a marble in the jar.
But
and then at
everyone
the
just
end-
chose extra break.
Did they?
Yeah.
Or just a time off?
Yeah.
Pool party's way better. Way better. Okay, thank you to our new moderators for jumping in and killing the bots. What's stuck?
My headphones.
Oh, no.
Ow.
How did you do that?
I don't know.
It's a good job we're not live. We can edit all this out later.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. Right, ready with the next question.
Why is my camera so dark and yours so light?
Because I just literally just plugged it in as you came down. I didn't even think about it, I'm afraid. There might be another light to be had. Hold on.
Yeah.
Is any better? All right, what's the scores on the doors, Mrs. Wiggly, please?
So we have Will Joseph 1, Adamski 1, Wagyu 1, Xander 1, Grace Griffin 1, and Jane Setter 1.
Good work, especially good work to Xander. That's epic. Right, eyes down. We got another question lined up. if I can only find the another question button, which must be somewhere about here.
How many fish are in the sea?
Okay, we're going to make it slightly easier. It's not actually how many fish are in the sea, because I've got a picture for you. There it is. All right, so I'm going to put this picture up for a few seconds. You need to tell me how many fish are in the sea. Stand by, chat. Here we go. There you go.
Good guess.
Have a guess.
How many fish?
Long
35, 34.
Did you say 34? Sorry. Very close.
Close.
Really close.
Kent is really close.
It's lower than 34. That's a really good guess.
Synthetic.
Synthetic. Got it. Oh. I reckon half a point to the Mowbrays. Yeah, absolutely, because that was really close. Well done, sir. Good count. Did you count them, or did you just sort of guess?
No.
You just guessed.
Yeah, you get a point. Get half a point for that.
Half a point for being close. Good. Who won that one? Sorry, I missed it.
That was synthetic.
Synthetic. Well done, sir. Well done. Okay, so that's how many fish in the sea. Let's go. There's only a couple more questions left. Let's try. Ow! That isn't even the horn. That's the backup horn that Loullamae's found. No, please don't, because it's even louder than the real horn.
What's the worst fruit in the entire world?
What's the worst fruit in the entire world? Robbed again, Grace Griffin, you're correct. It is obviously orange. No, this is obviously Loullamae's idea of the worst fruit in the world as well. It's a bit of a trick fruit, to be fair.
Oh, somebody got it.
Rotten Circuits. That is Ray Malone, who will be having his portrait done in a minute as well. Well done, sir. Point to Rotten Circuits. Ray Malone, previous guest on the show. Really, really good. So now what? Now how are we doing for points now? Is anyone actually out in the lead?
I've had to give Will Joseph an extra one because apparently he got...
Bribed you, did he?
Well, apparently he got one before synthetic.
Oh,
apparently.
okay.
Who got one before?
Who was that? Ray Malone? No.
Will Joseph.
Will Joseph got one.
So Will Joseph at the moment is in the lead with 2.
Yeah.
And everyone else has got 1.
Everyone's got 1. Well, Xander's got 1.5, and everyone else has got 1.
Second place.
Yeah.
Second place to Xander. Right. Okay. How many questions we got left?
2 and logic and
2 and a Loullamae's logic and some portrait painting.
And
okay.
big
And a big question as well. Not that one again. I keep pressing.
How long is Hazel's new leash?
How long is Hazel's new leash? I've got to say, it's a long one as well. You're going to have meters or feet?
6 foot.
Longer. It's a crazy long leash. It's one of those that you can sit in the middle of the garden and then you can go up the shops.
Xander reckons 25 foot.
No, even longer than that.
Wow.
It's crazy long.
Wow.
Morgan Juniper's on 100 meters, which is not correct. That's longer than it is. If you're in meters, you can have feet. Most people are in meters at the moment. Have another guess.
100 feet.
Very, very close. Bit higher.
120 foot.
Lower.
110.
Yeah, that'll do. Well done. Could be meters or feet. To whoever just asked, it whizzed off the top of the screen. Ken Lewis. It was 108 feet, but 110 is close enough. 33 meters long, which is utterly crazy for a lead. But basically, you can sit and, you know, she can literally go miles away.
We should take a video.
We will do. Yeah, for next time. Yeah, she chases it.
Bonus question.
Yeah, your dog must be on a leash. Well, it is. It's just a mile long.
Bonus question.
Okay. Bonus. Well, we don't need a thing for that. Do you want to do the bonus question then?
Okay. What colour is the leash?
What colour is the leash?
Girl doggy. No, I think I know it.
Go for it.
Pink. Pink.
No.
Azio. Oh, Wagyu got it.
Wagyu! You were very, very close with pink. It would have probably been pink if there was a pink one, but red was the closest. Okay, oops, add you back. What scores on the doors, please, Mrs. Wiggly?
Right. Will Joseph 2, Adamski 1, Wagyu 2, Zonda 2.5.
Yes.
Grace Griffin 1, Jane Settle 1, Synth Addict 1, Rotten Circuits 1, and I'm going to give Sasquatch 1 because Inky thinks that he got something before I said
Fair enough.
someone else. So I'll go with Inky, so Sasquatch has got a point as well.
All right, so who's in the lead? Xander?
Zonda 2.5.
Yes. This is epic. Absolutely epic. This is the last question then.
Yeah.
So everything to play for. Okay, so are you ready, Loullamae? Yeah?
Yeah.
Oops, I nearly pressed the wrong one.
Who is standing in from Mount Kilimanjaro?
Very well said. Okay, this is a picture question. Who is this standing in front of Mount Kilimanjaro? Let me just find the picture, which will obviously help everybody. Where is it? Right. Somebody is standing in front of Mount Kilimanjaro. Here it is.
I can't remember the name.
What did you say? You can't remember?
I remember. As a kid.
Yeah.
Maybe move or something. Maybe.
No. It's not Iggle Piggle. This is Grace
It's a
Griffin.
strange name.
It is. Say again.
Boris Johnson.
No. No. It's from In the Night Garden, so you kind of know who it is.
Who is it?
Yeah, no.
Pass.
Maybe we've got them. Homegrown saying Tinky Winky. No, it's not Rhubarb. Oh, Epimere, you'd have a job googling it actually. It took ages to get that shot as well. They're very rare to see in front of Mount Kilimanjaro. They're normally in a big garden at night. It's not Upsy Daisy. No. All right, 5, 4. Do you want to ring the bell when you want to stop it?
Oh, Wagyu.
Waggy's got it.
He's got
Oh, he's
cheating.
cheating. Okay.
But he doesn't know which letter. He doesn't know which letter.
Yeah, if you really want to be good, it is a tumbly boo, but Wagyu was cheating. But it's a particular one because there's 3 of them. I'll give that to you. Tumbly boo E and also cheating. Okay, so no points for cheating, but very, very well done.
So is that no
Very
points?
good.
There?
No points. No point. In fact, it really should be a. Which means
Logic.
Yeah, you can do your logic in the same. Which means we have a winner.
Yes, and the winner is Zonda with 2.5 points. Woohoo! Well done, Zonda.
Great work, Xander. That's epic. And to be honest, if anyone was going to get tumbly boos, I thought it might be you. Not you're both too old for it, but it might have stuck in the back of your head. Absolutely brilliant. Well done, sir. If we get some stuff from Great Ormond Street Hospital next week, we'll send you something from the stuff that they send through. So thank you very, very much for joining in. That'd be ace. We got a T-shirt or something. Huge love in the chat for Xander. Everyone is literally jumping up and down saying how amazing you were. Oh, what's that? And do you want to do some...
Logic.
Okay, we're going to do Loullamae's Logic, which is just a little piece of logic. And then we'll take a little break and
cheese.
And show the cheese. And Luli needs her iPad to draw the things.
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, sorry. I'm just kind of looking around. But we'll do that in a sec. So...
shall I go down and do it and get it?
Yeah.
Where is it?
Yeah.
Is it?
Sofa.
Charging on the sofa, I think. All right, Loullamae's Logic.
Your stomach thinks all potatoes are mashed potatoes.
It's a valid point.
That's very true, that.
It's a valid point. I don't know where Luli comes up with the logic, but it's logic. It is logic. So, yeah, very, very good. Well, we have a big question.
Big question.
That's a proper question rather than a quiz question for you, Darren, I think. So let's have that one as well while Mrs. Wiggly's gone downstairs. So let me just see.
What's your best musical memory?
Mine? Or,
Yeah. Well, either's actually. Both.
my best favourite musical memory. I suppose it was when I performed at a rave in 1993 at the Palace nightclub Blackpool. It was called Cyber Juice, and they had dancers on stage and a big audience, and that's my best personal musical memory.
Oh, wow. That sounds amazing. Crikey.
Yep.
Do you have one? That's a difficult question to put you on the spot.
Well, Xander, I use Xander's voice in a couple of songs, so maybe...
Oh, wow. Ace, that's fantastic. Yeah. I remember you making a song with Ali Arms's voice.
Yeah, that was right.
And he didn't recognise himself.
No, he didn't really know.
And I said to you, oh, that's Ali. Yeah, I remember you. I remember him saying that. He got through the whole track. He goes, was that me?
I remember that.
That's really funny. Oh, dear. All right. So what we'll do is in the background, Loullamae's just going to do a couple of drawings, but we'll get back into some of the musical memories and stuff, unless you want to do a joke, Loullamae.
Okay.
You might get this one while we're waiting for Mrs. Wiggly to come back. We can kind of class this as...
it's not a question.
Is it not a question?
Joke.
Yeah,
Why do dogs float in water?
why do dogs float in water?
Because the body's the main part that's in the water, and the chest is full of air.
That is the logical answer.
Or maybe they've got inflatable pads in the feet.
What's the answer, Loullamae? Oh. What's the answer?
Because they're good boys.
Hey. Because they're good boys. Wah, wah. Right. I am going to send over a picture. What we did was Loullamae started drawing these, and then I promise we'll get back talking to you, Darren. Started drawing these profile pictures. Are you okay back in the back there?
I'm not. We nearly lost the dog, by the way.
Did we? What happened to the dog?
She removed the cushion that was blocking the gate, and she was like walking around the kitchen. And luckily, all the outside doors were locked because I locked them before coming up because they were just wide open. So we would have, we nearly lost the dog.
But we didn't know because it was all
No,
locked, so
she's
it was
still
fully
there.
safe. Otherwise, people would be calling the
She's
dog-
still there.
dog people. Good. Okay, we have a new puppy who's amazing called Hazel. But she's taking up quite a lot of our time at the moment, which is good because she's beautiful. She's a beautiful puppy. Anyway, Loullamae started drawing these kind of Facebook profiles. So I don't know if you can tell. The one on the left is the original picture, and the one on the right is Loullamae's drawing. I know it's hard to tell. And the one on the left is the original picture, and the one on the right is Loullamae's drawing. And me, if I just come in, you can see mine. Let me just do this. Obviously, this is really hard to tell. So, a few people have asked, including last week, Jen S. And we did Jen S's version, which I haven't loaded up yet, and another one for Brian. Oh, you've got it? You can show that one. So, okay, you show. Let me put you on screen. And she did. If you load it up. And we've got 3 more to do today, which is great. So there is Jen S, which I think is pretty spectacular, to be honest. This was live on the screen last week.
What next?
Brian Oliver, do you remember Brian? That's it. So there's Brian's. So again, that's pretty cool. So live on screen, Loullamae is going to do some live drawings while we chat about music. So I'm going to send you the first one. If you just hold on 1 second, let me just pop ourselves back here. I just need to find it in my phone. Photos. Right, we have Ray Malone, who I will airdrop to you now. I will say how amazing airdrop is.
Yeah.
So Ray Malone is Rotten Circuits in the chat in YouTube, and he looks. What camera am I on? Like this. So I'm just going to flip to my camera. In fact, if I go in, whoops, there you go. He's a very handsome fellow, Ray Malone. He's got lots of modular kit as well. So Loullamae is now starting work on making the new Facebook profile.
Janice loves her picture.
Oh, cool! Wait, it's brilliant. We're trying to fill Facebook with Loullamae. So and basically, £5 to Great Ormond Street gets you your own one. That was the deal with those, and we're very, very grateful for anyone who's putting money in, which is absolutely fantastic. So if you'd like one, hit me up on Facebook or Twitter or mrwiggly.co.uk. And do you know what a dyslexic, agnostic, insomniac, someone who stays up all night wondering if there's a dog? Actually, that's very good. Yeah, Ray's awaiting his thing. So back in the real world. Shall I drop you out for a moment, Mrs. Wiggly, or do you want to stick around in the chat?
No, actually, shall I go and check to
You
see
can go
if
and
the
check
dog's
if we're all okay downstairs. We've still got the sofa.
Bye-bye, everyone. See you next
See
week.
you next
Bye.
Bye. I'm sure you'll pop up again in a second. Loullamae's busy writing. So you are very welcome to stick around, Xander. You're very welcome to pop off if you want and do something interesting. It's entirely up to you.
Yeah, you've done.
Okay, thanks for coming. Thanks for winning the quiz, and keep your eyes open. We'll let you know. We'll send you something as soon as we can. As soon as something arrives from Great Ormond Street. Kent Spong, 4 pictures, please, of Kent Spong. He's already given money. Thank you, sir. You really are.
What?
He's given £20 from 4 pictures. My word.
4 pictures?
Yeah, we'll have to find out from him which pictures he wants.
Why 4?
Well, because he's just very, I don't know, maybe it would be one for him, one for his wife, and one for 2 dogs. Or something. I'm not sure. We'll find out. Yeah, thank you. There was an owl pic of Kent Spong. I'm not sure if we've still got it here. Hold on. He was the sad owl picture. 1 second. Do we have a sad owl? I had to get rid of a load of pictures. Yes, here's sad owl pic of Kent Spong. There he is. It's pretty good. Pretty good. I shouldn't really do any of that because he's just donated so much money. He is a top guy. Ow. Okay. Thank you so much to even more donating. And this was from the lovely Tony Duncan, who we mentioned earlier. Thank you, sir. Who was travelling around in the US. I don't know if you've got back or if you're mobile, but that is a brilliant thing. Thank you, Tony. You're also in the draw for one of these 2 books that will be given away next week when Nick Batt will be our esteemed guest for show number 55. So thank you very, very, very much indeed for that. Lovely to see you, and thanks for coming on. We had Tony on a little while ago, so that was cool. Kent Spongs, he says he doesn't see himself in it, so maybe Wife and 3 Dogs. I'm not sure. Oh, he's back home, Tony Duncan, so that's good. Anyway, let's just rewind a second while Loullamae is working. What brought you from the punk scene into the electronic scene? What suddenly made you think,
Well, like it was kind of saying, originally I actually, when I was talking about how punk rock developed different genres and they developed oi music, the entire band, except me, all had skinheads, and I was the only guy in the band with spiky hair, And so I didn't really fit their look, their agenda at that time. So we parted ways, and I stayed on that scene for a while, maybe a year. And then I started to notice sort of like synth pop music. I know it sounds like complete polar opposites of punk, but I started seeing like bands like Human League and John Fox, and then started listening more and more. Still keeping a passion for punk, but started listening to more synth pop music really, and then eventually I sort of went into that area, and I suppose the final nail, well, not the icing on the cake for me was when my mother came on with an album, and it was by Tomita, and the album was
yes,
Dancing, yeah, and on the back it had all the modular synths, and it blew me away. I thought the sound is massive, and I thought it produces this sound with these instruments, and then my mother had a catalogue, basically great universal catalogue, and
wow,
for like something like £1.73 a week, and I could buy a Gen SX 1000.
Yes.
So
yeah, I mean, that's incredible. I have a copy of Tomita's above the screens here. I got Switched On Bark and Snowflakes Are Dancing in 2 frames just above here, and it was my mum who bought the Snowflakes Are Dancing album, put it on in the car, and it totally blew me away. I didn't even realise at the time how amazing that album was. Even now, it's there's some.
So huge. I mean, he's kind of producing all these thick pads, and yet at the time there was only mono synths available.
Exactly, so it's built up one by one. I mean, it's just outstanding. Highly recommended if anyone's interested. Snowflakes Are Dancing by, I think it's Isahio Tomita. Yeah. Amazing album, even by today's standards. We have a Ray Malone picture. So let me do this. Hold on. So this was the original. This is not a very high-tech way of doing this, but it's the best way that we could come up with. And Loullamae's live drawing. Oh, nice. I really like the way none of these people have noses. It's really cool. So that is, there you go, Ray. That will be winging its way over to you shortly. We have the next one coming up in just a second. I will just find it in a moment. Let me just get rid of this down here. And it looks like... Wagyu, thank you so much. You needn't donate. Thank you. It's just every single week. It's absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much for the super sticker, man. It's really, really good. Again, in the draw for next week. And Ray, Rotten Circus, awesome. Which one is the real one? Yeah, it's hard to tell. The one without the nose. But yeah, Jen S is here as well, saying thank you for the last one. It was really, really cool. Okay, so the next one actually we'll do Keith in Watford next, and that is a super cool picture. So this is a picture of Keith in Watford for anyone who doesn't know what he looks like, and he's a cool guy.
Send it.
So I'm really itching to know what this one is going to come out like. Okay.
Send it.
It's on its way now. Thank you for the donation, Keith.
Send it.
Hold on. I can only go as fast as I can try. Right. Again, huge thanks to Airdrop. Go on. So it was literally listening to music and going, actually, yeah, I'm really into this.
Yeah, that's exactly it. You know, and of course, I mean, you're submerged in like music through movies, you know, and I was hearing music everywhere and wondering how they did this sound and how they did that sound, you know, and just listening to music all over the place, it sort of woke me up, really, you know, and yeah, once I'd realised I like bands like sort of Human League and John Fox and people like that.
Yeah.
As well as punk, the whole world opened up musically. You know, it's like you know, I was seeing these instruments available, these synthesizers, and I don't know, it was the first time that I'd really realised that I could buy one.
Yeah. That was a major moment, wasn't it? I mean, they were still expensive, but they suddenly, when the Junos and the Poly 6s and then the next generation came out, they became aspirational but affordable, I suppose. Certainly not something everyone could buy, but they weren't just like a cost of a house or something ridiculous or a car at the time. They became below a certain level. That's interesting because a lot of people that I've asked that to on the show have said, yeah, I wanted to make the same sounds that I heard on these tracks that I was listening to. You know, I was wondering how do they make that sound? It's just so new. And the Tomita album is a brilliant example of that because it was at the time like nothing I think anyone had heard. And to be honest, I know people who are into Jean-Michel Jarre and you know, the kind of gods of the synthesizer world. I think Tomita for me was the thing that turned me on to synths rather than the people, even Kraftwerk, you know, he came along first for me and everything else sort of followed, which is quite interesting. Pretty
much what happened to me, Dominic, too, really. You know, I mean, I did hear Jean-Michel Jarre and thought it was amazing, but really, I think the turning point was basically Tomita, you know.
Yeah.
And you know what? I mean, even nowadays, in this day and age, I'd struggle to recreate them sounds. I think.
Yeah.
You know, even now, that album particularly sounds outstanding.
Yeah, it's funny to listen to something with hiss on it that you can hear now. You know, on the mask, because obviously I must have tracked every time they tracked a monophone sound to get an 8-note chord or something. That's 8 passes, but it is astonishing, and the way that he sort of orchestrated it. I don't know. We could just talk about that all day. Wagyu's, I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. Right? You are pronouncing it correctly. Wagyu is saying Tomita, which is what you're saying. Yeah. Wagyu, how do you pronounce his first name? I don't know if you can spell that phonetically. And it also, actually, that's interesting you say, because they listed all the synths on the back of the album. And that was also a kind of an opener. It was like, oh, that's if I bought all of these.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, to be honest, even now when you look at it, there's machines there that I don't recognise, you know.
Yeah.
And there's probably machines there that to buy now would cost, well, you couldn't buy them. But I think the closest that you could get to what he used were currently, I think Behringer are making a released. Is it the system?
Yes.
The modular ones with like the metallic.
Yeah.
Green,
kind of Moog copies.
Yeah. That they used them synths on. Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Oh, cool. All right, Isao Tomita.
Yeah.
Today I learnt. Japanese is very consistent with its. Yeah, no, absolutely. And even now that stuff is just as relevant as it was back then. It took a bit of a beating in the 90s, and then people have realised, you know, how wonderful it all sounds. So you went off and bought some kit. Oh, hold that thought for a second. I say, right, hang on a second. Let me get the original up. We are firing on all cylinders here. Okay, so Keith in Watford, the very wonderful Keith in Watford, who looks like that. Now, looks like that. That is ace. I think that does the job. Honestly, the noses are the trademark, I've realised now. That is just epic. Really, really good. Keith in Watford, I'm not actually sure if you're watching. I hope you are. I just sent you a message saying that it would be done. You normally are around. I'm sure you'll pick up on this soon. I will send it across to you. Thank you very much for your donation. Matt Evans' missus is just cool. Don't worry, you can come back and watch it in a minute. The ARP 2600, Jonathan Tent is saying, which was featured massively on that album. And there is one more to be done, and that is the very wonderful Ben from the Pro Synth Network, Ben Simpson. So he's sent quite a daring picture, I think, because it already looks like he's winking. I'm wondering if it might look like he's got a bit of a wonky eye in the final version. So, Ben Simpson, here we go. I'm going to send it over to you now. Here we go. 1 second. Airdrop to Loullamae on its way. Ka-ching. There you have it. Let's have a look at the poll as well. I was really interested to see who was who was it, cats and dogs and so forth. So we've got a tie. I said before you came up, I did a poll on everyone, Loullamae, that said, are you a cat person, a dog person, no pets, or some other animal? And it's absolutely tied between cats and dogs, 43% each, which is incredible. Good as well. Right, so you bought what at that stage? I was just about to ask you.
Yeah, well, the first real synth was the Gen SX 1000, which had that 2 or 3 years, but I ended up breaking it, basically blew it up. And then, yeah, I did, yeah. And then around that time, Yamaha released the old, I mean, everyone's had these. Do you remember the PSS 680?
Oh, yeah. Actually, really good for their time as well.
And reading through, there was a magazine at the time, I think it was called Electronic Musician or Electronic Music or something. I mean, he doesn't run anymore. But they had a bit of a part in that magazine about multi-timbrality.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and it explained how multi-timbrality worked. And I realised that the Yamaha PSS 680 that I had, I mean, I didn't have anything else at that time. It was 12-part multi-timbral. So I knew then I could create some drums, bass line, melodies, strings and stuff, you know.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, but the sequencer that was built into the PSS 680 wasn't too good. So I started looking the small lads at the back of the magazines and I discovered this Yamaha QX5 sequencer. I know it well, yes. Yeah, and that was it really, you know. Once I'd got that, I could professionally sequence and you know, sequencing notes in step time, like that. Yeah. Like honed me art then, you know. I learned how to do really fast bass lines, which the techno as such, you know.
Of course, yeah, with a step time. Yeah, when I first got my JX3P, it had a very simple step sequencer on it, but you do get really quick, don't you? Like break, that's fantastic.
Then I got a Fostex Pod Studio, like the Fostex X15 or something like that. And I got that, and I acquired a second-hand Roland Space Echo, which at the time. And
I wouldn't give for one of those today. Wow.
It was the big one with the tape, you know.
Yeah.
And then I got, crazily, but I got the little Casio VL Tone.
Yes.
Yeah, so I had the output of that going through the Roland Space Echo, and it sounded huge. Yeah, really
I found out literally this week, bizarrely, in the UK they sold 250,000 VL tones, which is astonishing.
That's quite good. And I mean,
and Casio, it was really early days for them in the UK. And I was chatting to someone who was involved, and they had 250,000 of those things. But to be honest, I knew 3 or 4 people who got one. So, you know, if you're at that age, 250,000, incredible. Absolutely incredible. Someone's voted dog. I think it was probably Neil Wharton, because he's up to 47% on the dog front. So any cat lovers out there, jump on in. Incidentally, we're about 5 or 6 subscribers away from 2,300 at the moment. So if you haven't subscribed, bang a subscribe. Obviously, please do. Bang a like or whatever. But you don't get many subscribers when you're doing live streams. So the good news is after next week, the week after, there are some non-live videos lined up. Some stuff for Soma and some stuff on the Roland T8 and their new bits. and especially the Vector synth that has been around here for a while. So that'll be neat. I've actually started filming stuff again. Loullamae is ready. Hold on one second. I'm wondering with glasses how the lack of nose is going to work. And I'm not the only one, to be fair. That came from the chat. Okay, so here is Ben Simpson. I'd say that's pretty good. Did you forget the beard? I suppose it's beardless though. That's good though. It's your interpretation, and I like the way he's winking. I think that's really excellent. That's great. We'll offer him. Can I offer him an additional beard if he wants a beard, just in case, because it might add a bit of character there. So if you'd like a beard added, say the word, Ben. But I think that's tops. Well done, Loullamae. Lovely teeth, says Jen S. That is cool. Are you going to do a beard? Yeah, we're going to add a beard. I think it'll be just a little bit more in keeping. You can't have no nose and no beard. But I love the wink. Oh, you can do a nose? No, don't worry. So I'm interrupting the artist. I know it's a moustache. 2,000 subs, 2,300. I think will be the next one. So, but yeah, well, like I was saying, the subs don't shoot up on live streams. It's slightly weird, but real video. Oh, now we're talking. That's the one. Good work. All right, Ben, we will send that over to you. Oh, I made it already. Thank you, Waggy. Thank you, Tony Duncan. We're there. Hey, 2-3. So that's good. Thank you, Loullamae. That's absolutely epic. You're going to head off and check on the puppy. All right. Big love in the chat, please, for Loullamae.
Can you tell me what's wrong?
No, that wasn't you. I think we've got Loullamae. Loullamae, 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 Loullamae. Thank you so much. I hope everything's all right downstairs. Brilliant. Okay, so now we can talk a little bit more about proper music and stuff. Can I play this from your Clownfest 3 performance? I think that's probably a good breaker. This is a live Clownfest 3 performance. Now, Clownfest 3 was probably, this is August 2021. Does that... Oh, man. Neil Wharton. So they're just incredible. You missed the big news earlier on, which was that we smashed £250 last week, and with thanks to you. We're way up there this week as well. And Great Ormond Street Hospital have got in touch. They're going to send us some T-shirts, some stickers and stuff. So hopefully we'll get some stuff out to you as well. Also, you're in the draw for the 2 great books, which I happen to have left in the other room back there, which is A Push Turn Move and the other synth book, Synth Gems, which we'll be giving away next week. Nick Batt's coming on next week at last, so we'll have a big sort of stream next week where we give those away and he can pick the winners and that kind of stuff, I think. Thank you, Adamski. That's really, really cool. And 3 cheers for the Basset Hound. So it must have been Neil Wharton that came in at 48% on the poll, which will close. Unless there's any more cat lovers out there, we'll leave it just while this is on. This is Mowby One, and this is him performing at Clownfest 3 with looks and sounds really, really cool. Oh, not that. That's the wrong one. I will work out how to do this stuff properly soon. I just need to share my screen. Where's the screen? Here we go. So this is it. It's just amazing. I've forgotten how good this set was, actually. I queued it up and I thought, we'll run it. It's so good.
Thank you. Cheers, man.
Just amazing. And all hardware, just straight out, just really, really, really good.
Thank you, Dominic.
It's real, isn't it? I think that's and that's where it shares the punk ethos of the whole thing. It's just real.
That's it. I mean, I go for sort of, obviously, I go for darker sounds really, and like weird sort of vocal little bits and deep bass lines, and I mean, to be honest, I mean, someone asked if that was the Nyborg, and yeah. The Nyborg 12 in there is Redbox Hades, and obviously it's sequenced via the Akai MPC Live Mark 1. And there's been a few other additions since then, like newer synths.
Cool. I mean, it is really good. Hey, Woody Piano Shack. Welcome aboard. Thank you very much for watching. You've just caught a really good part of the Clownfest 3 set, and we're just chatting to Darren Mowbray One, who was the performer there. It's just that directness, and I don't know. I've always said that some of the problems when you're trying to do a hardware-based session like that is you don't have the luxury of being able to EQ everything carefully on the fly and compress everything and get everything into the right space.
That's very true, that, Dominic.
And it often ends up in the same space. So there's two ways around that, and you can really carefully design your sounds to try and get it right. It's hard. You can cheat a bit, I guess, or you can use less sounds is pretty much a really good way of doing it. So rather than mashing everything up at the same time, you're the old Rick Rubin thing of, never make more than 5 sounds at the same time. And like a kick, a hat, a clap, a bass line, you've only got room for a voice. Do you know what I mean? And it sounds so much louder and so much direct because you've used the right sounds at the right moment. And what's really clever, I think, is that about 3 times in the course of listening to that, which was only about 5 minutes long, there were 3 points at which it sort of leapt up into another gear. Do you know what I mean? Just when you thought it was going to flow for a bit, a new riff came in. Really good, really, really good.
That's brilliant. Cheers.
No, it's true though. It's absolutely true. And you look pretty scary as well.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's funny. Clownfest 3 was actually on Halloween, if you remember. It was Halloween week, and I thought at the time that the mask with the boiler suit would be a good idea,
Yeah.
Started the set, and about 10 minutes in I realised I couldn't see anything because the mask was riding up, and so the holes for the eyes were there. The eyes were down there. It had to come off. It had to come off.
What a nightmare! What a nightmare! Oh my word!
Yeah.
I mean, no, that's I didn't realise. I mean, August isn't that long ago. We're talking it's about a year ago. It's aged really well. It stands up really well, and it's just loud and direct, and pretty much what people were saying in the chat, which is exciting, and I think pretty special for a live jam thing. And there's an urgency to it that sounds really, really cool. Woody, what was Woody saying? I'm a big fan of yours. So very flattering. This audience knows who I am, and thank you. And it even came up the screen. Hi all, and thanks again. You're very welcome, Woody. I've been a massive fan of yours for a while, a long time, like years. You would be very, very welcome to pop up as a guest. I'm sure, as everyone's already said in the chat, there are a lot of big fans of yours here as well. I don't know if you've managed to catch the stream before, but it's more of a light entertainment Sunday evening show with a bit of talk about music. Than anything else, but we do raise money for charity. We have raised nearly £6,000 as of this stream after about 50 streams. So maybe I'll pop you a little message on Facebook or something if you fancy coming on or popping up briefly. That would be amazing. And more power to you, Albo. Big fan of your work. Thank you for popping in and saying hello. And as Tony says, we all know Woody. So this is the now. Has anything evolved since then? You're talking about the kit that you've got with the Nyborg. Are you still working around those same things that you were using back in August? Have you evolved a rig that you're kind of happy with now, or are you constantly changing stuff?
Well, I was it's one of them ones. Every time I buy a synth, it's like, oh, this is going to be the last synth I ever buy. As in,
yeah.
Never, I promise. But no, I mean, I sold the Digitone, so that went. I mean, it's a brilliant piece of kit, but to properly operate it, it's the buttons are multifunction, and there's a little bit of menu diving in the box that's that big.
Yeah,
it's a bit awkward on the fly, and although it sounds amazing, so I ended up getting I sold the Digitone, and I got the Quad Wanted Swarm, which is like it's a digital groove box, handmade, but
okay,
it's got dual analog filters with a real spring reverb. I mean,
nice.
The camera on it just a little bit.
Yeah. I'd love to see it. Yeah, absolutely. Gotcha. Yeah. I know what you mean.
So I ended up getting that, and then recently I've got the Moog Werkstatt 01.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, which is it's a great sound, and so really, and together with the Nyborg and the Dreadbox Hades, they're all semi-modular, and so like I can set like the LFO on the Nyborg to be controlled by the filter on the Hades, in which in turn I can get they all interact with each other, you know.
Yeah. I
am building a new big set at the minute, and it, as well as a couple of tunes that I'm working on. The new set is going to be a lot darker and a lot heavier, you know.
Nice.
So yeah.
I remember, you know, I kind of been following when you've popped up and said, "Oh, I'm buying one of these. I'm buying one." You know, they're always really well thought out. The stuff that you buy, and that sort of going and. You know, you could fill the rack up with Volkers. Do you know what I mean? Nothing that's anything wrong with Volkers, and I could get one of those. And it's definitely quality over quantity in your rack. You know, and a lot of research and a lot of careful decisions about what will work with your current equipment.
This is it. Yeah, that's very true. I mean, I always try and go for sort of synthesizers too that have got something slightly unique about them. Because you can utilise that uniqueness within your sets, you know.
Yeah. Like,
for example, the Nyborg's got a beautiful Oberheim creamy sound. Sounds beautiful. And, you know, the Quad Wanted Swarm is a strange beast. You know, you can get some great grooves out of that. And that's a strange beast in its own, you know. And the Werkstatt, it's just good. It's a good all-rounder, but you know, for CV, sort of controlling it via CV gates.
Yeah,
it's a good synth, yeah. But everything's unique, almost.
And how do you go about if you're building a new set or whatever? Are there many presets involved in some of the kit you've got there? I don't think they're all preset based, are they? So how would you?
Well, this is it. I mean, I will use a couple of presets because the Akai MPC Live. I mean, I don't know if you're aware, but they do have a few built-in synths.
Oh yeah, I'm aware. Thanks to Inky, who's lent me her MPC. So he had two, which is lucky, and I've been working my way through that. And certainly the recent update that Akai have done in terms of those releases has brought it out. Funnily, when I was chatting about the VL tones and the Casio stuff with the same chap, we're talking about Akai and how they kind of got a reputation for kind of releasing things a little early and then not following through. And then suddenly that all changed really with the last software update. And they'd obviously been working for a while, then it just went splosh, you know.
Everybody loved it. I mean, you can do like they're basically multi-timbal now, aren't they? You know,
yeah.
MIDI controllers, and all that kind of thing. So yeah, I mean, I do cheat a little bit. I mean, I have sort of synthesizers that I use within the Akai, but they might be stuff like basic string sounds or like basic saw sounds and that, just to the background sounds, you know. But most of the bass lines that I use come from the Dreadbox Hades, and unless I sample the sound, which I do sometimes, it's every time I perform, it's a slightly different sound, you know. I mean, with having no patches or presets, I can never get the same sound unless it's sampled.
Yeah, Yeah, yeah. No, well, that's cool. And Morgan's saying send some sounds for a remix, so that would be quite an interesting collab. That could be really cool. Yeah, it's difficult, isn't it, when you're working on something like that? I guess what you're working more towards is the changeovers and the feels of the whole thing. And then, what do you record into when you're ready to press go?
As in to record the finished product.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll show you.
Ah, fantastic.
Just simply that.
Oh, brilliant. Oh,
Yeah,
neat.
That, yeah.
Is that a Zoom? Sorry, I couldn't make out the...
So it's a Tascam. It's the Tascam DR22.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, and it works. I mean, like, it's do a little bit awkward because you've got to turn the output level on the mixer down really, really low.
Right.
The line input seems really, really hot. So, but it works.
It works.
But,
That's interesting because someone was telling me, I think it was Ray actually, about the new Zoom has no input controls but hugely high kind of 32-bit recording, so it doesn't really matter that you can't really overdrive, you know, as long as you put it in there you can then really turn it up if you need to. That's just come out, which kind of looks quite cool. Oh, that's great. So it's literally just completely out of the box from one end to the other.
Yeah, I mean, obviously though, when I do sets, it's like for example, I'll have like the Akai. You can have something like 99 sequences per screen type thing, you know. And so I'll write the bass lines and the drums and strings and everything, all the synth sounds, but I'll have variations of each one. So depending on how I'm feeling at the time, you know, I might have a different melody line come in, or I might split it. I might have the one part of the song where this bit comes in, but the beauty about the Akai is that you can drop him in on the go, and so I do that. I also what I've been doing a lot too is say like the bass line, it might be like a 2-bar bass line or like a 4-bar bass. On the fly I might bring it down to just like an eighth of the bar.
So you've almost got like a stutter edit on one part of the...
Yeah. So just part the bass line, I can bum.
Yeah, nice.
And you can bring stuff and play like busk a little bit over the top, you know.
So you're sampling and playback on the fly into the MPC whilst you're recording, is that what you're saying? Or you've got those sort of prepared? I
only use the Tascam to record when I'm mastering a track down.
Right.
Like, for example, when I've got a track currently on Beatport, and I just mastered that via the little Tascam, but I don't record anything until it's finished, and even then I don't. When I do sets, it's all pretty much live. You know, it's all live.
Just amazing. Just amazing.
Did.
Really, we need to get your Beatport link as well out there for people, because they can actually obviously hear the finished result of what's possible without a computer getting anywhere near. Was it a conscious choice, or did you just don't like computers, or financial, or I mean, where did that kind of drive come from?
Yeah, that's an excellent question, Dominic. Thanks. Well, basically, years ago, I'm talking when it was like the years of Windows 98.
Yeah.
I did have a computer, and it was like running something like Cubase 2, something weird like that. And I had a Teratech sound card and the EWS64 XL, I think it was. And I had synthesizers, I had hardware. So I did use computers way back in the early days, but I never sort of gelled with them. I never gelled with it. I felt like I just didn't feel right, you know, the vibe wasn't there. And so then I went back to like hardware sequencing, and I just loved it. It's like all my focus is on a little screen that big rather than a big screen.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It's a brave thing to do because of everything you can do, but I think it's more creative in terms of freeing your creativity, because it's so easy to write music or mix music by looking at something, oh, that waveform, or that light's on, or that distortion's happening, or whatever. Oh, I can't do that. Whereas if you just switch it all off and use your ears, it's a different concept, you know.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with like using computers. You know, everyone's different.
Yeah.
You know, I sometimes do wish I had like the access to them kind of sounds and effects and processing, you know, but I haven't. So I'm forced to use what I've got in the box.
I always remember, really when sampling and stuff was coming, the Adamski track that Seal ended up singing on. What's it called?
Yeah.
Was just made out of his ESX. He just turned up in the studio and they said, right, let's do all the track laying, we'll lay it all out. And he said, no, just stereo out the back of his ESX, you know, in Sonic, and that was it. Yeah,
well, it was Adamski that actually influenced me well, because I mean, I can tell you what, I mean, he actually did that. I mean, the track that broke him, he actually did on the Ensoniq SQ80. You know, and
it was Killer. Sorry, Wagyu and Inky the Cats just jumped in. Yeah, Killer.
That was it. Yeah, he actually recorded it in his flat on the floor, and from what I remember reading an interview, and yeah, it was the Ensoniq SQ80. And,
that's right. Yeah, not this. That's right. An
amazing thing, and they were selling one down as basic local music shop. That time, but financially it was well out of my league. I mean, they were an expensive synth back then.
Yeah, well, they probably are again now, to be honest, with everything falling out. But particularly with all the kind of components disappearing and the chip shortage and all that kind of stuff. Adamski saying the bass was a mini Moog, but yeah, I do remember they had a Lucozade bottle on the sleeve, didn't it? And I do remember, I think when they went in, certainly the Psalm version, when the the vocals started going down, it was all pretty much just straight out the back of this thing to the mixing desk. And actually that's kind of where big studios became, really, you know, where people would just go in for the coffee and the speakers, plug their rack in, make sure the mix sounded pretty good. maybe put the SSL compressor across it or something, and that was it, really, you know. That's yeah, exactly. Oh, hang on a minute. Wagyu's now getting credit for things he hasn't even done. What have I given him credit for this time? Oh my god. Wagyu said Killer and Inky said Killer, and yeah, anyway, who knows. So from this point on then, you're obviously working on sets. I know you were starting to play out live before we all got locked down and everything kind of disappeared. Are you back to playing out at all, or are you just building stuff?
Well, there's a couple of tracks that I'm just trying to finalise, just trying to finish these two tracks, and then once I've finished them, which I mean, to be quite frank, I mean, one of them's nearly almost done now. Mm-hmm. So I'm pretty much ready to do a set really soon, like in the next couple of weeks. What pushed me back a little bit was that I ended up moving with. Me and my kids, we ended up moving, and so my equipment wasn't even set up for
right. Yeah.
You know, but I found a little space now, a little home in there, and it's well. I mean, to be quite frank, it sounds amazing. I've been doing some tests and everything. It sounds wicked.
Oh, fantastic! Yeah. Wow. Jen saying, are you doing Clownfest 9?
I'm not sure when it is, to be honest.
Okay. Yeah, we haven't seen you around on the URL stuff and the Clownfest stuff. You'd be very welcome to jump back in on there.
I mean, I'm not to be quite honest, I don't normally get involved with sort of mass group things like that. I mean, mm-hmm. I have done sort of Clownfest. I mean, I've done Clownfest 1.5 times basically.
Oh, I remember there was an audio problem, wasn't there? I think, or you stepped in.
Well, I offered Mark myself as like backup if someone pulled out.
Yeah,
ready to go, and then he turned around and said, "Yeah, I pretty much need you to fill in it, you know." And I went to do it, and something went wrong, and the live stream died. I couldn't do it. So I'd been asking him for days and days.
Oh,
and then
man.
He get to do it for Clownfest 3. But normally I don't, how can I word it? I'm a bit of a musical loner.
Yeah, that's cool.
I'd like to. I would
Well,
like
no, you'd be very well. I mean, even just come and just join in the community a bit and just have a listen on the URL nights, whatever. I know because I was chatting to Mark before, and he said he hadn't seen you for a while. So, yeah, come and jump in. And also, there's hardware jams as well, which Inky runs. There's a lot, that you can get as involved as you want, really. You don't have to make the music. I've been on Clownfest, but I never put any tracks into the URL, and I've only put about 2 tracks into hardware jams, but I'm always there, and I find it quite inspiring sometimes just listening to that stuff. In fact, I should just do a bit of a big up for both those things. We have a Hardware Jams Festival. Oh, Inky, isn't it Inky will tell me. I think it's in July. I must get a new graphic with the dates on it. And she'll tell me in a second. So that's coming out now. I think that's already full, but it's going to be kind of incredible. We'll get the date off of Inky any second. And there is the Clownfest 9 itself is now happening 23rd to the 27th of September. Again, it may be full now for Darren, but just come and get involved and just say hello. And I think the 10th one might even be in a proper field with any luck. So it'd be great if you could get involved with that one. They're also talking about doing an after party, I think, because it was oversubscribed, so that would be worthwhile. The Hardware Jams, 22nd to the 24th. That'll be of June, so that's literally in 12 days time. So Hardware Jams, I'll just stick that back up again, 22nd to the 24th of June. Check out Hardware Jams as the Facebook group, and for Clownfest check out Unsigned Review Live or clownfest.live for that one, and hopefully we'll see you around in it at some stage. There's all the groups are kind of connected now, if only by sort of a few shows like this one, or everyone knows each other. And I'm pretty sure over the course of the next 18 months, there's a couple of the artists are going to explode out of it. Someone is going to tip over because there's so much talent now, and you got bands like Movement 81 who you may not have come across, to amazing artists making brilliant kind of modular stuff, really really good quality acts. So it's just nice to see people getting above the radar, really, as a group of kind of musicians who basically have never met each other before. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, so gigs after you've finished these tunes on the horizon, maybe just
100% though. Yeah, 100%.
Cool.
To be honest, I mean, over the last few years too, I got back into, basically I reformed the punk band a few years back, and we had a session of like playing around and that. I mean, we even did a festival in France. So this is the punk thing again. I mean, as well as producing the music that I do with the synths, I ended up reforming the punk band way back in 2016 round then, and we did a series of like concerts and that. And then I had a break because it was nearly killing me. Because
I was going to say, it's hard being a punk in your 40s and 50s, right? Yeah.
Then I did a couple more gigs, maybe 2 or 3 years back, and then eventually, because I was getting really terrible pains in my head, because imagine screaming down a mic, for like an hour, it causes like headaches, and so I decided to retire from the punk rock scene, really, and it was then when I could eventually say, no, this is where I am. I'm going to do electronic dance music, and this is where I'm going to focus now.
Yeah.
But I have got a set on the go which I've been working on, and it sounds fabulous. It sounds really good.
Oh, but you've got the punk ethos coming through, certainly from that Clownfest session. I think sorry, I was just going to say, I think I missed up on the. Is it July? Is it July for the Hardware Jams? Check out Hardware Jams group on Facebook. I'll get a graphic next week, I promise, with the right dates on it. I think it may not be in 12 days' time. If it isn't in 12 days' time, that's good, because I'm going into it and I haven't done my thing yet. So people are saying July. I'm kind of hoping. So Inky, perhaps if you could just quantify that whole the actual date, including the month for the Hardware Jams thing, that would be epic. Sorry, I interrupted you. What were you saying?
No, I'm not sure now. Actually, I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Well, we're just sorry, Karen.
I'm definitely going to join now the hardware jams, and I'll look at the Ill show, and I'll maybe put myself down as a standby for.
Yeah. I mean, just contributing by kind of just popping in every night is great, and it just builds the whole thing. A couple of people were mentioning the EMOM nights, which are electronic music open mic nights. There's one in Manchester. That's another kind of crew of people that have just sort of started to get connected. So I'm just trying to find. Ken Lewis is saying there's a Manchester one worth checking. It's sort of it started off as quite a modular oriented thing as an open mic. Here we go. There you go. Darren should come to an EMOM near him. There's a Manchester, perhaps. It would be great to see him play live. But it's crossed over into people just turning up with hardware. Could be a looper, could be a couple of synths, could be everything. So how far away from you are Manchester?
I'm about an hour, maybe an hour.
Okay. Well, the movement's sort of building up as well. I think there's a Facebook group if you search EMOM, which is just a nice little thing. Morgan said the EMOM nights are in there. Okay, so Will Joseph says we're in July now, Dom. Okay, so that's even worse, right? So I'm just the one who mentioned June. So stand by your beds, everything's cool. We are in July, 22nd for the hardware jams in July. So basically anyone who heard what I said before will know that it was just an idiotic thing to say. So all those dates are July. So we've got 12 days to go till the hardware jams, which means I've got to work on my hardware jam. And then obviously we've got the Clownfest thing coming up as well. So that's kind of cool. I guess, we've been at it for a while. Hopefully you've got a couple more minutes just to tell us what's going to happen in the future, really. Where would you like to be heading over the next kind of year or two once your tracks are down?
I'd like to be able to produce some really, really good tracks, and I'd like to be successful with them. Obviously, like I said, anyone that wants to hear anything that I've got out right now, just do a search for Mowby One. Mowby, obviously Mowby One, and I've got a track currently live. It's an EP, Rules, Religion, Sin. But I'm working on a couple of other songs. But I'd like to be maybe successful with these new songs that I've got written, and a few live sets, and just to be a recognisable face in this music, And I want to make a difference. Really, I want to let people see that you can be my age and still produce banging music,
Amen to that. Totally amen to that. That's really, really cool. Really, I think Gaz might have just joined the chats as well. No, Morgan's saying Gaz is on that EP, and Morgan's got a remix, and so's Point 2, which is Gaz, right, on that actual EP.
Right, it's on the EP. You've got there's a remix by Gaz, point 2. Morgan Juniper. There's a mix by him, and there's a mix by a chap that's a long-time friend of mine, DJ John Jepson. He's
cool.
Long-term friend and sort of DJ. So yeah, it's a banging EP. There's a few different sounds there.
That's cool. I'm just going to try and grab the link while you're talking. It's a Bandcamp link, isn't it? So
yeah. Again, it's all done on hardware, like it is what it is. But Gaz did a really, really good drum and bass version. It's more like a bouncy sort of. Morgan's mix is quite a driving version. Mm-hmm. John's version is quite progressive, sort of slightly more down tempo, but it's a strong progressive mix.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a good track really. The samples, like I actually took the vocal samples literally 22 years ago.
Sorry, you're all right there, Donnie? Yeah. Okay, just come for the iPad. Sorry, carry on. Took the samples 22 years ago.
Yeah. I remember recording something from a television channel, which I won't mention, but it was some documentary about religion, obviously, anyhow. But I recorded the samples 22 years ago,
Oh, wow.
I found them recently, so that was when I used them, you know.
Oh, brilliant. That's really good. Oh, some of the people were asking, was it Xander on there? But obviously not. It was the older samples. I'm finding a track called Fluster.
Yeah, I mean, Fluster's all right, but you want to be looking really for Rules, Religion, Sin.
Okay.
It's on YouTube, but it's on Beatport.
Sorry, I'm looking on Bandcamp. That's why it's going on. All right, what I'll do is we'll link everything up underneath here in about 24 hours time, once YouTube's crunched the live feed and everything comes back to normal, because it disappears and goes a bit weird for 24 hours. I'll put all the links directly under this video so that you can click straight through. But if you Google Mowby One, Mowbyone, as 2 words, then you will find everything that you need to know. Well, listen, I mean, we could talk all night, to be honest, but I can't believe it's 9 o'clock. Thank you so much for coming on. What an amazing stream. I love it. Absolutely love the attitude, the talent, the whole outlook on life. It's really good. It's very inspirational. Thank you so much for being there.
And I've absolutely loved it. I mean, I was terrified at the start. I was terrified, but I've absolutely thanked you.
You didn't seem terrified, nor should you be terrified, but I know what it's like if someone says, "Oh, just come and talk on stream." You know, it's difficult, but just like going and have a coffee, really.
Thank you. That's been awesome. And also thank you everyone too for coming to watch.
Yeah, there's a load, and thank you to people watching after the event. Hopefully I've talked enough about what was going on in the chat for you to understand what was occurring. Sometimes I forget that people can't actually, well, some people just listen to the podcast as well, so try and do an explanation of what's happening as much as I can. But yeah, thank you. There's lots and lots of love going on in the chat. Thank you to everyone that's put money in as well. Absolutely brilliant. Please do join us next week for Nick Batt, because he very rarely comes and we can actually ask him anything we want, which will be amazing. So if you've got any questions, have a think about those. I'll probably put up a poll for those, and that should be quite a busy stream. If Woody Piano Shack fancies coming on, I'd absolutely love him to come on as well. I mean, all these people kind of finding the stream is absolutely brilliant, and it's all because of you guys that are watching and you guys that are commenting that we're obviously getting pushed up the old YouTube algorithm a bit, that we're being found. So, Cresshead says he's found the Beatport page. You probably can't paste into the live chat though. In fact, let me just say Mowby One Beatport this time, because we should have it up there. There we go, Beatport. That's better. I did have it up earlier. Rules, Religion and Sin. There you go. So I'm just going to paste this link into the chat. We'll also put it underneath the video as well. That will go out to everything. Yeah, and thank you very much indeed to everyone. Absolutely brilliant. Looking forward to next week. All that's left to say really is a huge thanks again to Darren for joining us. It's really, really cool. And
thank you, Dominic.
Best of luck for everything that you're doing in the future. Look forward to seeing you play live soon, I hope.
Yeah, we'll be really soon. Thank you everyone too for coming along.
Nice one. Take care. We'll see you soon. Take care. Good night all.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Connect so with the earth pipe, link up the harmonize, bless the termite, but beyond obsolete blessings, a birthright. We live a life which a lot warm in us all worldwide. Cosmic love energy, I go herbicide free, organically, miss their worthwhile. What a way one of you take term points in terms of definitions and some termites get sidechecked the eye. One side is defined by one side the other. I.e. I am an idea's man. I assign too much of the qualities of my child. Who's way back talking like there's two of me? One is a construct, one is a creativity. The supreme one, all encompassing information in and of itself, most definitely. Another life infinitely, most life infinitely. Beyond the scripture, niceness can be. Blessed be. I continually must pick up a being as the infinity.